year. I hope you guys can hear me. I think people usually say that you should like test your shit first. And like I kind of did, but we're doing it. We're just gonna do it. Welcome to 2026 Q1 yapfest summary because I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done with carousels. I went from like October 2023 all the way to like New Year's 2025 into 2026, like New Year's Day, without posting fuck all to Instagram. And like, I kind of liked that. I kind of liked that. And it was on purpose. On purpose. It was on purpose because before that, I was posting like my cute little 10 slides, 2 week catch up, like like March 1st, 2023 through March 15th, 2023, some witty little caption, and then like my 10 shit posts, right? And though that was fun, the moment I started to feel like I was recording video for the carousel versus just like living my life and whatever I recorded, I just included. The moment I started doing the four, I just quit Instagram. So then 2 years went by, and like don't get me wrong, supremely eventful years. That's why I did post a 2025 catch up, and I think I summarized to the best of my ability in 20 slides 2 years worth of shit, or like a year and a half worth of shit. I don't know. And that was cathartic. That felt good. It felt good to like catch it all up for the ones tuned in. But the truth is, during that whole time, I did miss the archiving of memory. I did miss that because this little brain kind of forgetting shit lately. Not, I don't like it. So I picked up photography. I picked up in a more serious way. I picked it up more seriously. Like I started actually going and taking my camera and like, you know, going out for the sole purpose of photography. And it definitely scratched an itch, but no, but it scratched an itch, and it honestly has become a pretty like sweet side hobby. But I miss a video. I miss video. I miss video, bro. I miss that. I love video. I love that shit. And in looking up photography tips and shit, you always get, the algorithm is like a 10 steps ahead of you in 2026. And, on the sidebar, I'd be like, I'd see how to shoot cinematic footage with your iPhone. And I'm like, fuck, I have an iPhone. I could be making cinematic footage, bro. So this is my cinematic footage. Me, dog, couch. And I kind of am going to do a compromise with myself where I will not allow myself to shit post 10 to 20 slides every 2 weeks. I don't want to do that. So maybe I will catch y'all up in quarterly installments like PayPal. You know what I'm saying? So I'll summarize my quarters for y'all because y'all are obviously wanting this. And this isn't even for me, this is for you. This is for you. Anyways, all that being said, Q1, nothing really happened. I don't got shit to say. If I start in December 2025, I went to Cabo with Flo for our homie Sandra's wedding. That shit was fire. It was my mom and my dad's birthdays, February and January, respectively. Uh, we were just at Medieval Times for Mary's birthday, our homie Mary, who low-key top contender for Sunday's best auntie because she does us the huge favors of babysitting him when we have to travel. And aside from that, I'm coming out of busy season, which this year ended in like fucking February. So I was like mentally non-existent in January and half of February. We did Valentine's Day at White Castle. That was sick. I didn't know White Castle did that, but Flo suggested it because we were being budget conscious in our 30s. Except not really, because the reason we were doing that is because we spent a fortune on BTS tickets, which I think unfortunately will be what this video becomes. Because really, what else happened in March, in Q1 of 2026, then BTS coming back. So, fuck it. Is this gonna become a BTS Arirang review? Fuck, I think it might. I was just looking at the lyrics. Oh man, how do I start this? How do I not yap? I need to compose my thoughts. Okay, I feel like this album is kind of what happens when an artist is fully like realized like in their identity to the point where they know exactly what they want very purely. And the crazy thing about BTS is that unlike any other group in K-pop history, they have all had the opportunity, all of seven of them have had the opportunity, not just during enlistment, prior to enlistment too. They've all had the opportunity to make solo records, like albums. Even fucking Seokjin, even that man who I think would rather play Maple Story, dropped 2 mini EPs, I think. So we have 7 artists that are sharpened immediately coming out of the military and hungry to reclaim identity. And I think that is so sick. And I'm behind on BTS media. Like I haven't watched the documentary and shit like that. But I think what happened is they likely came back and were like, we literally cannot be K-pop anymore. I don't, and I think they needed to. I think they need to have said that within the group because what do you mean? Like Namjoon literally had shoegaze in his solo album, right? And even Jungkook, right? Jungkook who had the most pop boy album, like the most fucking like Usher, Justin Bieber adjacent type record. Even his record is such a polished, evolved form of pop, Western pop, that like to return to like the Korean mainstream pop it wouldn't be aligned with his solo record. And you look at someone like Hobie, like J Hope, right? Jack in the Box is so freaking good. And like he collabed with J. Cole. Like how do you go from collabing with J. Cole to like potentially writing something like Dynamite again? And Dynamite does not represent their entire discography. But more what I'm trying to say is like I think BTS came out of military ready to distance themselves with respect from K-pop. And I think that's why the title of Arirang is pretty sick, despite all the public opinion that I've seen about it. Because so many people are saying, why would you name the album this title if you're going to use mostly English? Isn't that disrespectful to like your Korean identity, your Korean culture? Like, why did you set up the expectation of this returning to roots with such a Korean theme like Arirang? Why would you do that and then like just use like 75% English on the album? And that's a fair thing to say, but that's an assumption of expectation. Like they didn't say that. They didn't say that. I don't think they said that. If they said that, then please let me know. But like, I think really what's happening here is that they reach out to people. Ryan Tedder, Michael Made It, Diplo, Tizo Touchdown. Like, they reached out to these people to help them evolve the way they want to evolve. And if they wanted to remain what they are, they would have not necessarily had to reach out to these producers. But these producers specifically are like the best paintbrushes you could have purchased to paint your next painting. So I think their evolution is intentional. And I think the name Arirang is also intentional because what it looks like to me, and this is where I'm gonna tap into my Delulu I am Namjoon brain. Me and him are one and the same. To me, what it looks like is as they break through the lid of the K-pop box, they're taking with them, alongside them, something so Korean, like the word, phrase, theme, Arirang. Not as a symbol of like we gonna sound Korean again, but like as a sign of respect and pride that even as they approach this massively global sound now, they are Korean. And what are you gonna do about that? That's why the song Aliens exists. I think in Aliens they say this perfectly. They say, brother, respect us. You owe us respect at this point. So what if we're Korean? what are you gonna do about that? So I think that the criticism of the album for the name is like gray area. To me, it makes sense. Whatever. Musically, this album is so incredible. If you are someone that enjoys music as a platform for creativity, this album hits so good. They are playing with so many beautiful textures. It's awesome. If you love BTS just because BTS, like the members and their fun and their personalities, I'm not sure if that can carry you through this album. I think you have to have some inherent love of music alongside your love of the boys to like really, really love the album. You know what I mean? And that's mostly because unlike Dynamite, Butter, PTD, those singles, right? Those radio hits. Those songs were for us. These songs are for them. So yeah, I don't know. For me, Arirang is 9 out of 10, like a strong 9, super strong 9 out of 10. Why it's not a 10 despite this review is there's some things I don't like, and if there are some things I don't like, it is not a 10 to me. There's some vocal phrasing that I don't like. Some songs are really not exploring anything, in my opinion. And like some songs, there's a song or two in there that are so basic, executed to perfection, but so basic, right? So I don't know. I'm nitpicking, but like if I nitpick and I find something, it's not a 10 for me. But to have a strong 9 from BTS in this manner is so wonderful. What a gift. Literally, I'm so happy to be ARMY in 2026. I cannot wait to see them in concert. This whole album is gonna bang so hard in a stadium. Fuck yeah, I love BTS, bro. These boys are sick. Not that y'all asked for it, but that's my review of BTS. And I don't know what else to say for Q1. These are all the coffees I drank this quarter. I'll put them here somewhere. And here's the recipe I used I use the same. I think I use the same standard. This is like my standard recipe. So this is the standard recipe. Yeah. Look forward to catching up in Q2. If I don't talk to you before then, I will talk to you then. Am I gonna have to make a sign off? Like, I'm not really trying to do that. Peace out, gang. Thanks for letting me yap. Okay, super quick note in the middle of all this. I think it's pretty cool that the first song on Arirang is Body to Body, which is the same title as the first song in my favorite city pop record ever. Check that out. Kind of neat.